Hi everyone, this is Saye and welcome to the Miss Sayé Show. Today I have one of my dear friends, Enrique, with one of the coolest gadgets, or they call them the electrical unicycle. So I'm super excited to learn more and show you some of the coolest videos that he has shared with me. Welcome to the show, Enrique.
Thank you, Miss Sayé. It's great to be here. I'm so happy that you like the product and that you have tried it and you're improving and you're doing great with it. So it's awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, your energy. Every time I try one of the eWheels, I feel like you're my coach. You support me from far away and hey, do this, lean back, lean forward. So I have a lot of support from you. Thank you for being on the show. I'm super excited to share this cool experience with all my audience. So maybe they can order eWheels and have some fun during this quarantine time. So please tell us, Enrique, what is eWheel? What are these eWheels?
Great. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I'm so excited. This is a passion project for me. The whole thing of the e-wheels, it's basically an electric unicycle. So it's just one wheel that you have in between your legs, and it has a mechanism it operates on a lithium battery. And with the position of your body, you go forward, backwards, or to the sides. So it's not that you have a remote control and you go forward or backwards. It's with your body, with the control of your body on this unicycle. And what I've learned is that it obviously works on grass, which is great for us. And that's a way that I started 3 years ago to start the electric polo with my son. He was 7 years old at the time, and going to polo games, and let's say if you don't have a horse or ability to have a horse, but you still want to practice and enjoy the beautiful fields, plus get a feeling of the polo and improve your polo game, it's a great gadget. And on top of being a gadget, it's something that you do an amazing exercise for your full body and your core, plus you develop your polo skills. So it was kind of a combination of a lot of items that we put together, and we created this eWheels Polo sport or complement to polo development.
Incredible. I was not aware that you're one of the pioneers of eWheel Polo.
Yes, it started really 3 years ago when I started to go with my son to see some games here in Wellington. I live in Miami. I was a polo player, a former 4 or 5 gold polo player in Colombia. And then I
In
went away
Colombia.
from the sport, in Bogota, Colombia.
Lovely.
And I left the sport when I moved to the US. And then with my son, I wanted to get back into the sport. So I was trying to find a way of connecting with the sport, not only watching the sport, but also being able to practice a little bit before the games, halftime, and after the games, and for my son and the kids to have something to practice and improve. And that grew up for the kids to be able to control this wheel and play games and establishing rules and organizing games. And then it developed into, can I do it as an adult? Can I try? And I start on his small wheel. It's a different size. It was very difficult. So I started to find out and look for bigger wheels and different brands. And that's the way that the whole thing developed, because nobody really knew where to get the wheels, the different characteristics of the wheels, and what you need depends on your size, on your weight, on who you are and what you want to accomplish, which wheel should you get, and through which company, and what type of warranty. And so I started to develop all this, and it got a really good kick with the kids, and then started to developing for adults also.
Lovely. Thank you so much. So much good information. You're right, because when I saw eWheel and I see people are practicing with it, I was immediately drawn, but I had no knowledge of, okay, so do I just go Google eWheel and I order one? And I remember when we started chatting, you were telling me, how much do you weigh? what's your height? What are you going to use it for? And I said, I'm going to share this with my fiance. Then you're like, okay, well, if you guys going to share maybe this one. So it's very important that, you share this wealth of knowledge so people can choose the right product instead of doing a trial and error, getting one and saying, well, it's too big for me or too heavy for me. So that is very important. And I know often they come with the new ones. So you have to update your database and knowledge. So do you get each one and try them out, or how does it usually go when the new one comes out for you?
It's unfortunately the manufacturers, they don't look at it as, okay, we need to expose this product to people and have them try out. So they more go like, okay, we sell it and good luck. And in my opinion, and for this purpose, let's say, you need to try it out. You need to be outside on the field, try it. You need to have some knowledge, or at least somebody to tell you, how do you ride it? How does it work?
Right.
And what surprises me in this whole process is that there's nothing like that out in the market. There's nobody that can tell you, you should start this way, you should go this way, this size. So I started to collect all this data just by trying out the products, trying out with kids, trying the wheel of my kid, the small one that I bought first for my kid, to see if I could ride it. And it was very difficult. And then I took the risk and said, you know what, I'm going to buy a bigger one. So I bought the bigger one, and it was easier for me. And then I got to try some other like intermediate ones. And that's where I got a little bit into this, being able to suggest some type of models, depending on your size, on your weight, on how many hours or miles do you think you're going to use it per charge, per day, things like that. That sometimes asking for a weight or the size of the person, it's not the most comfortable conversation. People don't like to know or give you the information.
Yeah,
but
girls are usually skinnier and taller than what they actually are. As the information that the girls may give you, they will usually give you little skinnier and little taller.
Yeah. So what I tell them is, listen, this is it's basically to save you money in order for you to get the right wheel, because wheels go from for able to you have a good time and enjoy on grass. It really starts from $850 and it goes to $2,500.
Right.
So
it's investment. It's definitely an investment.
And you want to
Does
get
it
right.
come with any sort of an insurance? Because they do take a beating when you are learning.
Yeah.
You will wipe out a lot. So does it have insurance?
No, it doesn't come with any insurance. It comes with a warranty, but not a warranty against hits, but yes, of malfunctioning from the battery, the engine, or the control system. And from there, you have that warranty. But we do recommend people to have the cover and to use it and to learn on grass, let's say. It's a little bit more difficult on grass to learn because the way that grass is not perfectly flat. So you need like the process that you're doing. You're starting and you're controlling it. And once you control it and kind of know the balance and how to, then you move into grass. But there's a couple of things, and I've been writing them down to send it to clients and to people that are interested in how to learn. What should you do to learn? And how to small tips. And one of them, it's speed is your friend. And we always try to go very slow at the beginning. But it's like in a bicycle. If you go too slow, you will not be able to balance.
To the side, yes.
You need a little bit of speed. You need to understand the way that you put your body forward to go without looking down. Don't look into the floor, look into the horizon. Because the weight, the distribution of your weight, of your body weight, will impact the wheel, and then the wheel will go slower. And if you go slower, you tend to lose the balance or go to the sides, and then you feel that you're not comfortable, or you'll lose a little bit of the equilibrium, and then you put your feet down, and that's kind of, you start again from there. So it takes a little bit of time, of commitment, but once you start feeling the way it works, and once you start going on the open grass or on the polo field, and then once you start stick and bowling, it's a great feeling. It's the
it's just you're on the flow, in a flow. Like for example, for people who ride horses, or I used to ride motorcycle till I start dating a surgeon, and he's like, No more motorcycle. He's like, I get these guys at the ER all the time. No more
Yeah.
motorcycle for you. I said, okay, so we just do polo. It's so safe. Uh, but you know, when you do motorcycle, when you go to the turns, how you are one with your motorcycle. Like
Exactly.
that's how I felt when I started getting a groove with the e-wheel. It was one with my body and just was moving like the way I was moving with it. And that's what I learned. And for me, I think we should make one of those tutorial videos together because for me was trial and
Absolutely.
error. Yes, definitely. For me, I went around the football
Track.
field. I know you
Mhm.
like football. So I keep going around the football field several times, keep going and get into the groove. And then once I had a groove, I would cut into the grass to just
Mhm.
learn the grass a little bit. That was my way of doing it.
Yeah,
I also learned by trying eWheel that if I try it in a small space, that I have to keep turning immediately.
it's
For the
hard.
beginners, yeah, it's not a good idea. You need to have a way to just take off. So that's the tip that I have to
That's a good one.
when we make
Yeah.
our tutorial together. But can you please tell me a little bit about the way that the system works? Like there is no pedal that you press gas; it's the body.
Yeah.
So how is it? What is happening inside that with the way of your body, this thing moves? Can you explain that?
Yeah, it has an internal mechanism that works on weight distribution, and and it comes also with the support of the batteries. So you turn it on, and what happens is that it will stabilize. It will be stable, and it will not move when it's on, and you don't have a weight on the front or in the back.
Right.
So once you start moving forward and you lean your body forward, and the weight distribution of your body shows the wheel that it's going forward, the wheel starts pushing you.
Hmm.
So it
So it's the
follows you.
weight thing. Yeah, you're right. Because when you have it on and there's no weight on it, it's just
It
standing.
stands. So it doesn't
Yes,
have any
it's the
remote
weight
control
thing.
or any pedals or
Huh.
any click that you go forward and backwards. It all depends on your body. So the good thing about this is first that it creates a really big awareness of our body distribution and weight.
Yes. Yes.
Then you work a lot your core of your body
Yes.
without even noticing and without feeling the workout.
Right.
Your body is engaged. All the muscles are engaged.
Yes.
And then you start going very slowly into, okay, if I go a little bit more forward, it will speed up. If I put my body to the back, it will slow down. Then when you go become a real expert, I cannot do it yet. You can even go reverse. You can go backwards if
Oh,
you have
wow.
the balance. I haven't
Hmm.
been able to do that.
Just
Then
yet.
you just yet exactly. Then when you turn, it's very subtle that you start moving your body a little bit to the side, and the wheel starts going to that side that's left or right.
Right.
Important thing is to always have with your legs tight against the wheel.
Yes. Yes. Your
You
shin,
hold
in your
your
inner shin,
chin
need to be like tight. I'm
tight.
so excited to make some sort of a tutorial because that way we could have the wheel and then demonstrate and
Exactly.
show. Because right now the audience don't have the wheel in front of them. So when we talk about it, like, you know, what are they talking about? But I am excited to make that tutorial with you.
To go into eWheels Polo, what we can also see is once you start riding on the wheel, you control that, you start into a completely different rhythm that is the stick and ball to start to play by yourself. So
Mm.
once you control already your weight to go forward stop and go right and left. And as you have seen, any upper body movement moves the wheels to one side or the other one.
Right,
So
right.
imagine when you start stick and bowling and you do a full swing and hit the
Yes.
ball. Then you work even more your ball, your core.
Yes.
And it
Yes.
helps you a lot with polo because you start being able to independently move your lower body from your upper body. So horses correct a lot our posture when we're playing polo because they're
Hmm.
heavy. So you can put a little bit weight to one side to the other one and the horse will keep going.
Right.
The wheel will help you to improve your position of your body and be able to move the horse in the right direction, hit the ball without putting a lot of strength or muscle into it, but just with the swing of it on both sides. So it's a great development tool. Since we started this little by little, the kids start playing. Most of the sons or daughters of the professional polo players bought into this idea very
Right.
fast because they saw the advantages that you can play and train basically every single day, everywhere, anywhere you are, you can play polo and practice polo.
Right,
So
because the
that's
sport
grown.
of polo is expensive because of horses. So
Exactly.
if you have a horse that you just charge it up and you go and you don't have to feed it, that's awesome. So
Yes,
you cut down on cost for practice at least.
you cut down on price on custom practicing, but you also open a huge avenue for new people that are interested into the sport
Yes.
to try it, at a fraction of a cost. You
Yes.
can do a parallel of learning how to horseback ride
Yes,
and
let
stick
me
and
bring
ball.
it back to my question was where in the world right now the e-wheel polo is being practiced?
Right now, we are playing in we're growing between 12 and 15 countries around the world.
And how are the rules? Are the rules as similar as regular polo, or can you just touch upon it quickly? I don't want to go too deep
Yeah,
into
no,
it.
the whole idea behind this is to have the same or as close as possible the same rules as polo. So your transition from electric polo or e-wheel polo to polo is as smooth and as easy as you can. So I prefer to play on a polo field, even if it's not from goal to goal, but kind of in the same position. I prefer to play. The rules are 4 versus 4. You cannot just grab the ball, tap, 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 and go to the other side. You need to tap 3 times max and pass the ball to your
Okay,
teammate.
so that's a new thing. You have to tap 3 times max.
3 times
And
max.
have you registered this? I mean, these rules are written, or how
I've
is it?
written, yeah, no, the rules are written. It's a work in progress because it's a
Awesome.
new sport. So we're all the time and talking with the pros and people that are playing it. They give me suggestions for safety, for more enjoyment of the game, and we're growing slowly on that and putting some basic rules, but they go very much hand in hand with traditional polo. And the idea of this is to open a gap for more people to get to know the sport, the polo, get a gap where people can practice and improve their game. So when I started playing polo, or any kid starts playing polo, when you start playing polo, and when you're playing, the difficulty of being on the horse that is 10 times or 20 times heavier than us with a long mallet
Hmm.
and a small ball, and then you're trying to take the horse where the ball is, try to have your timing to hit the ball. Most of the times you will miss that ball, and then you have to go around with your horse, try to position him again and hit the ball again. What
Hmm.
eWheels Polo helps you, it gives you a lot of early development on the hand-eye coordination with the
Hand-eye
mallet, which is a
coordination,
smaller
yeah.
mallet, same ball, and on an open field. So
Hmm.
you start practicing. I have a kid that bought the wheel from in Casa de Campo in Dominican Republic. And he told me after 2 months, he told me, Enrique, I was playing, the kid is 12 years old, 10 years old. And so I was a polo player, or I consider myself a polo player, but I couldn't really hit the ball many times. So I was
Hmm.
hitting once, missing, and then somebody else was passing it to me.
So his
After
game
practicing,
improved
after
by
practicing
practicing
two
on e-wheel
months,
polo. question for you. What is your, since our time is really short, I wanted to know, what is your favorite memory of any of the pros, any of the possibly like, if you have any of the tangolers? I know Sapo Cassette, he
Uh-huh.
borrowed one of the e-wheels that I am trying right now. What are the good memories or fun memories of one of the tangolers getting on e-wheel polo for the, or e-wheels for the first time?
Yeah, well, many. It's first, I have a good memory with the Sapu cassette when he called me because his nephew was using one and he wanted to try it. So for me to go and talk to him and give him advice on things
Mm,
related to polo, for me
mm.
was kind of a weird situation. It was like, you're a 10 goaler, you're a top player in the world, and I'm going to teach you something. That his openness on learning
Oh,
was so amazing. From one of
incredible.
these top guys to say, I want to try it, I want to see how do I, and start developing that.
Lovely.
And another great example, he then ended up playing very well. He already knows the whole thing, but to develop that was great. And him telling me that it helps in practice, that it's great. Then another professional player used to be a 10 goaler through his kids also start playing. And then he told me, Enrique, this is the closest thing to playing polo on horse that I have experienced in my whole life.
Oh,
And
wow.
this is a guy that has gone through a lot of tournaments and many years at top
Hmm.
level. And his brother, which is also a top player and winner of Palermo Open, he was telling me, I finally understand when I play with somebody that is not as good or is a starting a 0 or 1 goal player. And I finally understand when he's going to hit the ball and all of a sudden he's not able to hit it or even to get the mallet to try to hit it. And he said, through this process of learning eWheels polo, I am understanding more this guy, why he doesn't feel comfortable letting the mallet go and trying to hit the ball, because there's so many things on having the horse, on holding the horse, holding yourself on top of the horse, plus the mallet, the whole thing. So
Yeah.
he said, I get it now. It was a brilliant eye-opening for him. And he said, from now on, I think I'm going to be a better professional player when I play with the people that hire me or lower goal players, because I will be able to explain them more how, or the fears that they have, the insecurities that they have, because he just lived through them trying to get on the e-wheels and learning on the e-wheel polo. And when you're learning to ride, you have the mallet, there's a ball, and you say, heck no, I'm not going to hit that ball because I think I'm going to fall. Those
Right.
kind of things are great experiences for me. Then I have another former 10 goaler open Argentinian Open winner. Now he's one of the top coaches, polo coaches in the world. And he wants to buy 4 wheels for his family in Argentina. We have an issue trying to see what's the best way of sending them there. And for him to go in an interview with another polo group and saying, this thing of eWheels polo, it's amazing. It's the best thing I have seen to
Awesome.
improve
Well,
your
you know what?
polo.
Another thing is that polo players like to play golf and tennis
Yes.
because it's very close hand and eye coordination to what they're doing. So knowing that he will kind of just kind of coming up in a rank and putting itself, on top, that's pretty cool. Well, I am very happy to have you on the show. Unfortunately, our time is short, but maybe we can do another interview in the near future. And thank you again for coming on the show and sharing with us your knowledge of eWheel Polo. I encourage my audience, if you want to have fun, this is a perfect time. And Enrique is a perfect guy that will educate you about e-wheels. It's so much fun. You may get few bruises. I have them, but it's worth it. I definitely encourage everyone to try it. Thank you so much, Enrique, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Miss Sayé. And if I may, before ending, I want to thank and appreciate a lot the work that Aspen Valley Polo is doing with the Wheels Polo. They're doing a great
Absolutely.
of exhibition games for kids. The Melissa Gansi and the Gansi family have been pushing this project forward, which is great. And you see the enthusiasm of the kids playing their games there, which is a big success for Aspen Polo Valley. So Aspen Valley Polo Club. So
That
I
is a great
appreciate
note
them
to
and their
end on. I
support.
want to thank Aspen Valley Polo as well and Melissa Ganzi and Ganzi family. They have done so much for the sport of polo and e-wheel polo. So thank you so
Absolutely.
much and have a lovely day. See you guys next Saturday.
Thank you.